Hi, so here I am in the Bunny Bothy, which was officially closed today. So during the Christmas period, we typically close the Bunny Bothy, and we don't do shop appointments, etc. Um, so I had come down a little bit earlier than normal ahead of our care team shift at the Hoppy Hub, and I took a telephone call. So I answered the call, and the lady on the other side told me a story about how she had bought a couple of rabbits from Gumtree just a couple of days before Christmas. Now they were adult rabbits, estimated to be maybe 18 months old, two boys. Sadly, one of the boys passed away yesterday, and they're not really sure why. But she could tell that things weren't right, and they had identified that they were quite unwell. So she was phoning because she was really worried about this surviving rabbit, mainly because she was concerned about walking in one morning to discover that they had also passed away, and really concerned that perhaps they were quite unwell. Um, so, as is always the case, we're full. We don't have space. We operate a waiting list. But what I advised her to do was to pop in the car, bring the rabbit down to me, and I'd be able to do a welfare assessment. And that would at least allow me to determine whether I thought there was an urgency or anything that she could do. Um, but when the rabbit came in, he was absolutely riddled in fleas, possibly the worst flea infestation I've seen for a long time. Certainly looked like it was not being dealt with. Long story short, I made the decision that, in the interest of the rabbit's welfare, it was probably going to do better with us than it would if I sent him back home. And so it just made sense that we made the space available. Now, we're not always able to do that, no matter what the circumstance. It can be very difficult. And I've immediately set to appropriate flea treatment and trying to clean up. As far as in poor condition, he's absolutely covered in flea dirt, and really long claws, as is often the case for rabbits being surrendered in. It's just a typical story of a family who have thought they were doing the right thing, getting rabbits for their kids, hadn't done the research properly, didn't realize how complicated rabbits were, thought they were doing the right thing by saving a rabbit from Gumtree. And the difficulty for me as a rescue director is the person who's responsible for these rabbits getting into the condition they were in wasn't the person I was dealing with today, but the owner prior to that, the owner that had these rabbits just before Christmas. I have no visibility of who they were. I have no visibility as to whether they've got other animals that they are possibly neglecting or possibly selling on to people. Rocket, as we've called him, will now get the best treatment we can possibly give him, and hopefully we'll get the fleas will disappear through treatment, and we can start getting him looking a bit healthier. And there's potentially other things going on there that I'm not worrying myself about just now, but his body condition's not great, his fur condition's not great. He's a mini lop, so there's probably dietary issues, as often is the case. Um, but we'll deal with all of these things in time. The priority is getting them comfortable and getting rid of these fleas. Um, so that's my day off. Not supposed to have been at the bothy today. Not supposed to have been dealing with surrenders today. But as is true for rescues across the country, it just doesn't stop. No matter how much you try, rescue doesn't stop.